The group leaves Mary's store and heads back through the Blue Market. Eleanor holds the healing potion carefully, still pleased with what she managed to buy. Torturial walks behind her in silence. It is not a peaceful silence. Shade notices. "You are thinking about the 5 gold, aren't you?" Torturial answers flatly. "I'm thinking about many things. Most of them involve getting it back." Evelyn laughs softly. Before anyone can answer, they see Denarian sitting on a bench outside the fishy fortress. Her arms are full of supplies: cheap compasses, parchment, ink, an ink pen, and the original strange compass held close. Shade looks at the pile. "I see your shopping trip went well." Denarian smiles a little too innocently. "It was educational." Torturial looks at the supplies, then at her. "You stole those." Denarian does not deny it. "I acquired them." Torturial takes one of the cheap compasses from her. "That is stealing with better posture." Denarian hands another compass to Eleanor. Eleanor takes it with surprise. "For me?" Denarian nods. "If we are lost in this city, we should at least all be lost with direction." Shade glances at the compasses. "Very poetic. Also probably stolen." Denarian gives him a look. "Do you want one or not?" Shade accepts one. "I adore crime when it is practical." Evelyn watches them with amused disbelief, then looks toward the fishy fortress. Her expression changes. "Are you really planning on sleeping here?" The group turns to her. Evelyn gestures down the richer part of the street. "My father owns a tavern just up ahead. It is much nicer than this place." Torturial looks back at the tavern where he ate the terrible salmon. "Nicer is a low bar." Evelyn smiles. "Then you will be impressed." She leads them away from the dockside streets and deeper into the blue city. As they walk, the colors grow richer. The clothing around them becomes darker blue. The bronze shines brighter. The buildings look better cared for. Berry bushes grow along the roads, and blue butterflies drift lazily between them. Eleanor walks beside Evelyn. The two do not speak much at first, but the silence between them is not uncomfortable. Evelyn glances at her. "You looked happy with the potion." Eleanor smiles. "I like being prepared." Evelyn's voice turns softer. "Prepared for what?" Eleanor looks ahead, toward the deeper blue streets. "I do not know yet." For a moment, Evelyn does not answer. Then she says quietly, "That is usually the worst kind." Before Eleanor can ask what she means, Evelyn points ahead. "There! That is Ingrassia." The tavern rises before them like a jewel of the blue city. It is a beautiful building, painted deep blue with bronze linings and butterfly engravings across the walls. Blue butterflies flutter near the berry bushes outside, circling the entrance as if welcoming them in. Compared to the fishy fortress, this place feels almost royal. Torturial looks at it suspiciously. "Too nice." Shade glances at him. "That is your complaint?" "Yes." Inside, the tavern is even more impressive. Tables are carved with butterfly patterns. Copper lines the edges of stools and tabletops. Beautiful bronze candles light the room with a warm glow. Adventurers of all sorts fill the space. Humans, elves, strangers from places the group does not remember. And among them, an interesting lizard-looking person sitting quietly apart from the others. Then the group sees the man behind the tavern's presence. Tall, muscular, dark-skinned, scarred across the body, a dark beard, an intense gaze. He wears deep blue linen clothing and bronze jewelry that catches the candlelight. Evelyn's face brightens. "That is my father." The man looks toward them. His stare is heavy enough to quiet the air. Evelyn speaks with warmth and pride. His name is Endor. He owns this tavern. Endor studies the group. His eyes move over Eleanor, Shade, Denarian, then Torturial. A slow smile forms, not a friendly one, a testing one. Endor speaks in a deep, controlled voice. Come inside. Eat. Rest. Then he points at Torturial. No pets allowed, though. The room seems to pause. Torturial's red eyes narrow. His hand opens slightly, ready to summon his spear. But he does not. Not yet. His voice lowers. I am not your pet. Choose your next words carefully. Endor studies him. The smile remains, but something in his eyes sharpens. Evelyn quickly steps between them. Father. Her voice is soft, but there is warning in it. Not fear. Familiarity. Like this is not the first time Endor has tested someone too harshly. Endor looks at his daughter, then back at Torturial. For a moment, neither of them moves. Then Endor gives a low chuckle. Good. You have teeth. Torturial does not blink. And a spear. Endor's smile widens slightly. So I see. The tension holds for another breath. Then Endor turns away as if the matter is settled. Sit. Eat. You look like you were dragged through the sea and dropped into trouble. Shade answers smoothly. That is surprisingly accurate. Endor looks back at him. His eyes linger on Shade's strange central eye. And you look like trouble learned to speak. Shade gives a small bow of his head. I do try to make an impression. Eleanor glances around the tavern, still feeling the weight of the moment. Evelyn touches her arm gently. It is all right. He does that. Eleanor looks at Endor. Calls people pets. Evelyn winces. Tests people. Torturial mutters under his breath. Bad test. Denarian smiles faintly. At least you passed. Torturial looks at her. I did not agree to be examined. Endor gestures toward the bar. Food and drink, free of charge. That catches everyone's attention, even Torturial. Eleanor blinks. Free? Endor nods. You are guests of Ingrassia. Shade looks around the room. That is generous. Endor's gaze does not soften. Generosity is rarely free. But tonight, eat first. Questions later. Evelyn leads them to the bar. The group sits. For the first time since entering the city, the food that arrives actually looks and smells good. Steak, warm bread, red wine, rich sauces, fresh berries. The smell alone makes the fishy fortress feel like a crime. Torturial looks at the plate, then at Endor. This better not taste like the salmon. Endor raises an eyebrow. You ate at the fishy fortress. Shade lifts his cup. A mistake we survived. Endor gives a short laugh. Then consider this your first proper meal in the Blue City. The group begins to eat, and for a little while, the blue warmth of Ingrassia wraps around them like a blanket. Comforting, beautiful, and impossible to fully trust. The meal settles over them like a spell. For a while, no one says much. There is only warm food, red wine, candlelight, and the strange relief of being indoors after everything the day has thrown at them. Eleanor sits close to Evelyn. Denarian eats quietly, though her eyes keep moving through the tavern. Shade leans back with his cup, looking relaxed, while his central eye remains watchful. Torturial keeps eating, though his eyes never leave Endor for long. The steak is good, annoyingly good. He cuts another piece and mutters, I hate when suspicious people have good food. Shade glances at him. That might be the most honest thing you have said all day. Torturial points his fork slightly toward Endor. Good food makes people lower their guard. That is why it works. Endor smiles from behind the bar. And yet you keep eating. Torturial takes another bite. I can be suspicious and hungry at the same time. A small laugh passes around the table. Even Eleanor smiles. For a moment, Torturial almost looks pleased with himself. Almost. Endor watches them carefully. Not casually. Carefully. Eventually he speaks. You are not from around here. It is not a question. Eleanor looks up from her plate. Well, no, I do not think so. She hesitates. I do not really know, actually. Endor's expression remains calm. No memories. Shade's voice stays light, but his gaze sharpens. None worth bragging about. Denarian touches the compass without thinking. We woke on a ship. Endor's eyes flick toward her hand, then back to her face. A silver one. The group goes still. Torturial lowers his fork. You know about it. Endor gives a small smile. I know that people arrive in Sanguine when they are meant to arrive. Denarian's grip tightens around the compass. Meant by who? Endor does not answer quickly. He pours more wine into a cup, slow and deliberate. In this city, people often find answers only after they stop fighting the path in front of them. Torturial looks at the wine being poured, then at Endor. That sounds like something people say when they want strangers to walk into trouble willingly. Endor's smile remains. And yet trouble found you long before I did. That silences him for a breath. Not because he agrees, because something about the sentence feels too close. Evelyn shifts beside Eleanor. Father. Her voice is soft, almost warning. Endor looks at her, and the warmth returns to his face. I am only helping. Then he turns back to the group. There is a church not far from here, tall enough that you will see it before you reach it. Gargoyles pour water from its roof, day and night. Blue butterflies gather around it. Eleanor listens carefully. A church? Endor nods. A place of comfort, of belonging. People go there when the city feels too large, or when their own thoughts become too heavy. For a moment, his eyes rest on Eleanor, then Denarian, then Torturial. As I imagine yours are. When Endor speaks of the church, Torturial's grip tightens around his cup. Not because he trusts the man, because something in the thought of that place pulls at him. A warmth low in his stomach. A memory that refuses to become a memory. Torturial looks away first. I do not like places that feel familiar before I know them. Denarian notices. She says nothing. Shade's central eye narrows slightly. That is a very soft way of telling strangers where to go. Endor chuckles. Would you prefer I shout? Shade raises his cup. Not particularly. Denarian watches Endor closely. What is in the church? Endor's answer is smooth. Peace. Torturial scoffs. I did not ask for peace. No, Endor says. People rarely do at first. The words sit strangely in the air. Eleanor glances toward Evelyn. Do you go there? Evelyn looks down at her hands. For a heartbeat, her smile fades. Then she nods. Everyone does. Eleanor studies her. Do you like it? Evelyn looks at Eleanor again, and her voice becomes gentle. It makes things easier. That answer should be comforting. Somehow it is not. Endor sets the cup down. You should rest tonight. Tomorrow, visit the church. After that, Sanguine may begin to feel less strange. Torturial leans back. I doubt this city knows how to feel less strange. Shade smiles faintly. That may be the second most honest thing you have said today. Endor hears them both. It does not need to feel familiar to be good for you. The sentence is calm, almost kind, but it lands heavier than it should. Evelyn quickly stands, forcing brightness back into the room. You should all sleep. It has been a long day. Eleanor rises with her. Shade sets down his cup. Denarian keeps the compass close. Torturial takes one last bite of steak before standing. Endor watches him. Torturial notices. What? If this is a trap, I am not dying hungry. For once, Endor actually laughs. For a moment, Endor almost seems like an ordinary tavern owner. Almost. Then his eyes return to the group, calm and measuring as ever. Evelyn quickly steps in, her smile bright again. You should all sleep. It has been a long day. No one argues. Eleanor rises with her. Shade sets down his cup and glances once more around the room. His central eye moves last, lingering on the doors, the windows, the stairs. Denarian stays quiet, but her eyes keep working, watching the room, watching Endor, watching the way people here move around him. Torturial wipes his mouth, satisfied despite himself, then follows the others toward the stairs. The warmth of Ingrassia follows them upward. The candles glow behind them. The food settles in their stomachs. The blue city smiles around them. Upstairs, the hallway is softer than the tavern below. Blue curtains hang near the windows. Bronze candle holders line the walls. Everything smells faintly of berries, wine, and rainwater. Evelyn walks beside Eleanor, close enough that their hands almost touch. For a moment, neither of them says anything. Then Evelyn glances at her. You can stay with me tonight, if you want. Eleanor looks at her, surprised. Evelyn quickly adds, I mean, if you do not want to be alone. After everything. Her voice is gentle. Too gentle, maybe. As if she knows exactly what Eleanor needs before Eleanor says it. Eleanor's expression softens. I would like that. Evelyn smiles. For a heartbeat, the smile is beautiful. Then her eyes drift toward the window, where blue butterflies pass through the night outside. Her voice becomes quieter. No one here has to be alone. The words should sound comforting, but they settle strangely in the air. Eleanor notices it, only slightly. Then Evelyn blinks, and the strange moment is gone. She is just Evelyn again. Warm, nervous, smiling. Shade watches from a few steps behind. He says nothing. Denarian notices too. She also says nothing. Torturial looks between all of them. I do not know what just happened, but I dislike hallway emotions. Shade gives him a tired look. Hallway emotions. Torturial nods. Yes, they are like regular emotions, but now I am standing. Despite herself, Eleanor laughs softly. Even Evelyn laughs, though hers comes half a second late. The rooms are divided. Shade takes one room, Denarian takes another. Eleanor follows Evelyn toward hers. Torturial does not. He pauses near the stairs, looking back down toward the tavern, then toward the rooms, then away from all of them. Eleanor notices. You are not staying. Torturial's answer is blunt. I have been called a pet, overcharged for bread, and fed suspiciously good steak. I have had enough of this place. Shade tilts his head. So naturally you are choosing the tavern with the criminal salmon. Torturial starts down the stairs. At least that place was honest about being terrible. Demarian watches him go. For a second, it almost looks like she wants to say something. But she does not. Torturial leaves Ingrassia and disappears back into the blue streets. Eleanor looks after him. He is difficult. Shade answers softly. Yes. Then, after a pause, but he came back for us. No one argues with that. Evelyn opens the door to her room. The blue candlelight inside is soft and low. Eleanor follows her in. Denarian remains in the hallway for a moment longer, looking from the rooms to the stairs below. This city is generous. Too generous. And Denarian does not trust anything that gives without wanting something back. End of episode 3. Ingrassia.